Well, everybody, welcome back from the weekend. It's your host, me, PDawg Knight. Good morning. Welcome to Morning Night Live. It's Monday. Everyone loves Monday, right? Well, today I think I'm just going to try to get through a whole bunch of quick headlines and see what we can do. But there's a couple things that happened over the weekend I got to talk about. So we'll get into those after the intro. Hey, Johnny, play the intro. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, yours truly, PDawg Knight. And stop that music. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. It is February 10th, 2020. And for those of you who came over from Monkey Stream, hey, so did I. I tend to listen to Monkey while I'm setting up my stream on these days when he's streaming at the same time. And, you know, it happens. Penis in PDawg's face. No, C. Thomas. We will not have a penis in PDawg's face. But... Oh, you're talking about my microphone? Yeah, it kind of looks like sort of. Anyway, good morning, everybody. Let's say hi, and then we're going to get right into it because I got a whole bunch of stuff, and we'll see how much we get through. First, I do have to say good morning to Necrosol Collins, who was first and gets the bell. I hope you're having a great day, sir. Also, thank you for retweeting the show. I see you've already done that, as well as Maddie and Chi-Town J. And Maddie did it twice, looks like. Oh, I see what you did. Okay. Well, thank you for retweeting the show. If you're all out there, if you're on Twitter, please retweet the show. And if you're not following me on Twitter, at PDawg Knight, just the same way you spell the channel, but no spaces. Also, good morning to C. Thomas, Gulf City Peasant, always throws a penis out there. Good morning, Duck Dog, D.I. Freighter, Tyler F., Chi-Town J, Maddie, House of Geek, also the news chick, Cynical Lindsay, Reese Donald, Chicago Mike, MCO, Hammer Time. I gotta do that sound effect for Hammer Time. I keep forgetting to do that. Good morning, Kessler, Cameraman J, and everyone else who might be lurking in the background. There's a whole bunch of you there. And a couple more people. Okay, I see Necrosol Collins and Chi-Town J also retweeted the show this morning. So, but yeah. Oh, I see. You did it twice, Necrosol. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys helping me out with that. Sharing this. See, here's the thing. I am still in the YouTube universe. Oh, yeah, I know. Yeah, I think. Thanks, Duck Dog. My Bluetooth speaker's still around my neck. My channel only grows because you guys help me do it. Because YouTube, I'm such small potatoes when it comes to YouTube, and so you guys always doing that really helps a lot. And also, when hello Pirate Pete, by the way, so hit the share arrow down below, or you can retweet the tweet, however you want to do it. Share the show with people you know. We are growing, we've grown pretty good. We're getting, I would say 50 people a month right now is probably at the rate the channel's growing. It seems like. I'm not 100% sure. I should probably go look back at the analytics. But I know we get a pretty steady flow of new people coming in, and the more the merrier, right? And also remember that if you haven't done so, or at the end, if you like what we do, make sure you hit that thumbs up button, also known as the like button, except for Duck Dog, who has exclusive permission from the dog to hit the thumbs down. And if you want to do super chats or donate to the show, which I am using to put together a new studio in the basement, moving out of the dining room, we will... I'd be happy to accept those, and also you get to be a permanent part of the show because I'll read whatever you write, for the most part. Yeah, keep it clean, and not necessarily clean. I don't know. I'll read it. I'm pretty good about that. Most of you know that. All right, let's get into what we're going to talk to about today. Oh, by the way, good morning, Patrice Ripley too. But I won't Twitter or Facebook. Oh no, you don't have to, D.I. Freighter. That's cool. I see. I know a lot of people are not on Twitter or Facebook, which, frankly, I don't know if that's a bad thing. You know, I haven't opened my. I have 2 Facebook accounts. One for my personal life and one for my PDawg nightlife, which I haven't even ever promoted because I've never. I don't know. I really don't put anything on there. I don't think I've been on Facebook for a year. The last time I remember that I can think of being on Facebook was when my brother got married last February. And I think I also had some photos on Instagram and things like that, which I do have an Instagram, which is yes that Marty. For those of you who know that my name is Marty, I've never hidden that. In fact, from the very first show, I told her what my name was, but PDawg Night is just kind of a nickname I got from a friend. But well, that sort of segues into the show. Although I'm going to come back to that. We're going to talk a little bit about something that happened on Twitter and Facebook. Well, this did too, actually. Let's just get into this. So I was on Twitter, everyone's favorite place to be. I got a little, not necessarily an argument, but kind of a discussion. Okay, it was a discussion regarding a certain rally that happened in Portland. And if you're familiar with Andy knows a citizen journalist who does a lot of work in Portland, and he writes for a couple different websites. And he posted this. He posted this photo. Antifa militants boldly defacing federal property nearby the Portland Police Central District. Now, Portland Antifa. They're a bunch of dickheads, but they're out there. Here's what was happening in Portland this weekend. There was supposed to be a KKK rally in Portland this past weekend. Okay, now big fanfare, made national news. Oh, there's going to be a big KKK rally in Portland. Oh my God! Everyone pucker your buttholes. Okay. And so, of course, anytime there's any group, now the KKK, fuck those guys. Okay, fuck the KKK. Let's just get this out right now. They can go dive in a volcano for all I care. But they were going to have a rally. I don't know if they had permits or what, but anyway. So obviously in Portland, which is a huge Antifa town. In fact, the mayor of Portland and the police of Portland seem to almost seem to give them a lot of support, right? Because they kind of do whatever they want to in Portland, and whether it's a minor right wing group, or if it's some people wearing MAGA hats, or if it's Patriot Prayer, which is now some people call them Patriot Prayer fascists, but they're not. They're guys who go around praying for different cities, and they're Trump supporters, yes, but they cause a little friction because they know that the Antifa guys are always going to try to come and hound them, and they come prepared. And if you're going to mess with us, we will beat your ass. And so it causes friction all over Portland whenever they're in town. And it's funny because wherever Patriot Prayer goes, normally they don't have these problems, but in Portland, Antifa Portland. They call it Rose City Antifa. They are very diligent about keeping anyone right of Mao. I say that in jest, but it's almost that way. So they cause a lot of problems. They start a lot of fights. They obviously, by this picture, they deface property. And so when I saw this, I'm like, oh, by the way, the KKK rally in Portland, it got canceled. But Antifa, who was ready and waiting for them where they were going to hold their rally, still decided to fuck shit up. They got a few people got arrested. There was some violence, and they attacked one of these citizen journalists. So anyway, my buddy Sophane, who I am very friendly with. Sophane's a good dude. We just disagree on a lot of shit. Federal property. Oh no, don't mess up the nice government's belongings, please. Well, come on now. And then Jeff Hawley jumps in. Everyone's upset about graffiti, but nobody mentions this was in response to the literal KKK turning up to march. Oh, but the KKK didn't show up. And Antifa said, hey, well, we're already here. Let's fuck some shit up anyway. And then Sophane mentioned, oh, not like those very nice gentlemen in D.C. Right now, I didn't know that there was also a white nationalist rally in Washington, D.C. apparently over the weekend. And I'm like, well, please elaborate, because I didn't know what he was talking about. He's like, exactly. Well, I went and looked it up. So let's look up this white nationalist rally in Washington, D.C. Now, if you blinked, you may not have seen it. But let's see. Washington. I mean, I literally had to look this up. D.C. White Nationalist Rally. Here we go. Let's look that up. So here, now, what's really interesting, too, is there. Well, here, I'm gonna show it to you. Let me show it to you first, okay? This is from Reuters, okay? So here's masked white nationalist rally march in Washington with a police escort. Police escorted masked members of a white nationalist group on a march through Washington's National Mall on Saturday that Metropolitan Police said occurred without incident or arrests. More than 100 members, oh, might have been as high as 150, of the Patriot Front, just in khaki pants and caps, blue jackets, white face masks, shouted, "Reclaim America, life, liberty, victory." Video of the march showed. The Southern Poverty Law Center describes the Patriot Front as a white nationalist group that broke off from a similar organization, Vanguard America, in the aftermath of the deadly Unite the Right rally at Charlottesville, Virginia in 2017. At the rally, self-described neo-Nazi I want to see the quote where James Fields describes himself as a neo-Nazi. Now, he may well do that, or he may well have done that, but I don't recall that. But anyway, at that rally, the Charlottesville, of course, they're going to bring this up, even though this had nothing to do with this particular rally, and I don't care. It's true. It's facts. At that rally, subscribed neo-Nazi James Field drove his car into a group of counter-protesters, killing the 32-year-old Heather Heyer. He was convicted of first-degree murder and sentenced to life in prison in 2018. And, of course, they're going to bring up U.S. President Donald Trump drew criticism from his fellow Republicans, as well as Democrats, were saying that both sides were to blame for the deadly 2017 incident. Now, that's interesting. I'm very curious. It's because that one incident out of dozens of incidents at that rally, okay, that was not the only thing that happened. No, he didn't say both sides were responsible for that Heather Heyer's death, but both sides were responsible for the violence. And if you don't believe that, what violence was taking place before when the rally started? Now, I mean, fuck the white nationalists. I don't give a shit about them. But the idea that when they were leaving the event, they weren't attacked The violence at that rally, as with most of these rallies, come from the people who are counter protesting. It's not like they came there to just go beat some people up. The people who had their rally or whatever they call that shit. So I don't know I'm trying to figure out what. Now, granted, the media is not going to let you know that, but I watched live streams of what was going on there from people who were there just to document it. Oh, good morning. Got a quick look. I got a super chat here from C. Thomas. Thank you for the $2, my man. Anti for trashy fuckers who destroy things, and that they are lauded as heroes by NPCs who never look past the name. Personally, I'm getting tired of the paranoia and obsession with destroying white nationalists, like it hasn't devolved into witch hunts. Well, here's the thing. So I get pointed to this rally in D.C. This rally in D.C. of over 100. Over 100 white nationalists. And I'm thinking, really? I always made the joke about Richard Spencer when Richard Spencer was in his heyday, when everyone was talking about Richard Spencer. And I said, you know what? Richard Spencer couldn't fill a conference room at a Hoboken Howard Johnson's. Yeah, for those who don't know what Howard Johnson is, it used to be a hotel chain. They're out there. Are they significant? Do they have anything to do with how policy comes about in this country? Do people? Here's the problem. Okay, here's the thing. And then so anyway, I'll get back to that. So. Anyway, so this stupid little march, and there's some video somewhere. I'll find it on here eventually. So then, my friend says to me, and I had to think about this for a minute, because he says to me, I said, you mean the 100 or so dickheads who had their little march and went away in Washington? Yeah, fuck them too. Okay, fuck those assholes. They did, but look, they had their little march with a permit. Nothing happened. They went away, and they're still assholes. Fuck them too, right? So he tells me, well, look how you just poo-pooed a masked white nationalist march of 100 or so people in America's capital, but you had sharp criticism of Antifa's counter protest of the KKK. The perspective is a little warped. Do you not see how we don't find centrist trustworthy? Well, first of all, I'm not a centrist. I'm firmly ensconced to the right of center, okay? I'm not a centrist. I'm pretty much conservative through and through. I just talk to a lot of different perspectives. You know what? You learn so much more if you're able to talk to people who don't agree with you on everything. So getting the idea that my willingness to talk to a wide variety of perspectives and political, visions makes me a better person. I can understand what other people talk about, even when I don't agree with them. And the other thing is, so the dickheads in Portland, the counter protest of the KKK. Well, the KKK didn't show up. They weren't there. They didn't have their rally. They canceled it. So the Antifa dickheads decided they're going to still put graffiti on people, still fuck with any reporters around there. Now, the picture in my thumbnail is one of the pictures from that little rally, the lack of rally, right? The KKK rally that they were supposedly having. Remember that? This picture here. Gee, these are those black masked dickheads in Portland pepper spraying some guy with the media moniker. Okay, they're pepper spraying people and doing graffiti and beating people up, and 3 people got arrested, and there's all kinds of incidents. They were scuffling with the police. Gee. And I poo-pooed the white nationalists in Washington, the 100 or so white nationalists in Washington, who I think I pretty clearly said that they're fuck them too. They're dickheads too, right? So, you know, I'm like, fuck them assholes. I don't care, you know? So anyway, but you know, it's funny. And then also but here's the other thing that kind of annoyed me about this weekend. And I'll find Andy No's feed here, because Andy No's kind of annoying the shit out of me too. All right. Because, look, I get it, Andy. Andy, you're a citizen journalist, and you know you're doing your best to expose the Antifa assholes, right? But and here's 3 people arrested on Saturday after a demonstration in downtown Portland turned violent, and a war memorial was vandalized. Okay, let's see. Now where is this here? Oh, there's a couple of videos he put out here. One of them was of this guy now this guy decides he's a citizen journalist too now, right? And let me put this on the screen. Pause. So this guy is just a guy out there with a camera. And here's the dickheads from Antifa around him, and they're harassing and picking on this guy. Okay. All right. And this is somebody that Andy knows. Andy knows this guy. So they're roughing him up, pushing him around, poking him with umbrellas. So they stole some of his shit. Okay. And they're calling him a Nazi. And now they sprayed him with some bear spray or pepper spray or some shit. All right, so some orange substance. All right, so that's some Andy No footage. Now, here's the thing. So now this guy, let me show you, there's a thread here. Now, so this guy, here's Andy's response. Video recorded by Antifa writer Shane Burley, this video he took from one of the Antifa people, shows mob harassing, assaulting, and pepper spraying local citizen journalist Brandon Brown. Brown was attacked and robbed by Antifa militants for recording them in Olympia, Washington in December. So they had seen him before. Brandon Brown was robbed and beaten by Antifa militants in December. He lost a lot of equipment in the attack. He was attacked again today in Portland in an unprovoked mobbing caught on video. Please help him replace his equipment. Oh, Brandon has a GoFundMe up. Good for him. So here's the deal. And you know what? Look, this graphic's pretty funny too. Okay. Excuse me. Then it was the Nazis doing it. Now it's the Antifa doing it. Here's the thing, though. So this Brandon Brown, I don't want to blame the victim, because the Antifa assholes can go straight to hell. And I wish I was in a situation where one of these Antifa people were doing this kind of stuff to me, because I would just pick out one. And no matter what happens to me, I would beat the shit out of that one and just take him down. And I would just beat the crap out of him while the other ones were trying to help him. I would take care of one and let them know that you don't mess with a 6'4", 280-pound black man. But that's just me. But anyway, these guys, these citizen journalists who keep putting themselves right in the middle of this shit, I just don't understand it. Okay, I understand that they want to get footage of these people doing things like this, but don't any of you guys own a telephoto lens or a zoom lens on a camera? I mean, can't you? Why? You know what? Now, I understand there are reporters in war zones, right? But the reporters in the war zones don't necessarily jump into the middle where the guns are shooting. They at least put themselves on a place where they're not being shot. Don't say it. Don't say it. This is a terrible take. You know what? The reason there are other journalists who do this the right way. I know I know some people are going to see this. Well, you're not going to agree with everything I say. And I'm not blaming them. I'm just saying they need to find a way to protect themselves if they're going to do this shit. Okay? Fuck the Antifa assholes for attacking them. Okay? I'm not blaming. It's the Antifa people's fault. They need to protect themselves. Go in there with a bodyguard. Go in there with bodyguards if they need to. But to put yourself right smack in the middle of them. Now, if the Antifa people are chasing them, then fuck, you know. Now, there's another thing that pissed me off about this, though. That even though this guy puts himself in the middle and then he gets out. Okay. There's another thing about this that kind of annoys me, and it's not this Brandon, whatever his name is. All right, the police reaction, and this is where, and this is why I get concerned, especially in Portland, not necessarily anywhere else, because anywhere else, the police will probably do something, but in Portland, it's been well documented that the police aren't going to do shit. And here is a great example of the police not doing shit. You have to watch this.
Hey, stay the fuck back, motherfuckers. Fuck off.
So this guy, he's trying to get away from the police. And here's the police's reaction. Or maybe I might have the wrong one here. Oh, yeah, I think this is where he goes and talks to the police. You know, it's interesting. I was just at this location last summer. I just realized that I recognized some of the scenery. So here now he's going to go talk to the police.
We're not going to come out and save you, so you got to come up with I see it on that side of the street. I didn't even cross.
You got to come up with a different plan, like maybe go somewhere else.
All right.
We're not going to run out here and save you.
No, I wasn't, but I came to you guys. I didn't even know there was anybody out here. But I just stood there. They come out with pepper spray.
I'm just telling you that ain't going to happen again. So you got to go probably find something else, okay?
Okay.
This is a police officer telling him that if they're attacking him, he's not going to come help them. This is why I think Portland is fucked up. Because the mayor has told them not to get involved unless... I don't know. Unless what? I don't know. Apparently they ended up arresting people who were defacing property and shit. But the mayor of Portland has them standing down so they're not going to do anything about it. That's just straight up bullshit. It's just straight up bullshit. So, I don't know. I just feel like, you know what? They've got to figure out they got to figure out a way to protect themselves and maybe be more strategic in their attempting and reporting, because one of these days someone's going to get seriously hurt, and you know what, it's not their fault, but again, figure out their proximities like a reporter in a war zone would, and make sure that they are be coming out of their safe, because I want to see their reporting. I want to see their photos. I want to see their videos. I want documentation of these little maggot asshole tough guys who think they're saving the world. But again, still want to fuck shit up even if the world doesn't need saving. And, you know, I want that documented. I want to see that. Now, the question becomes, which assholes are worse? Which assholes are worse? Is one worse than the other? Here's the problem, too. So I get in this long conversation with my friend who is totally, you know, thinking that Antifa is saving us from something. And then, you know, saying, oh, you're a centrist. That's why we don't trust internet centrists. Well, first of all, I'm not a centrist. I'm on the right. And I'm fully comfortable with being on the right. Even if I do talk to people who aren't all on the right. Even if I'm friends with people who are on the right. Right? But who's worse? Well, here's the thing. It's funny. The left, for lack of a better term, seems to embrace their assholes. And the right, for the most part, wants nothing to do with the assholes who are in D.C. You feel me? Because first of all, the assholes in D.C., the white nationalists who claim to be part of the right, fuck them guys. I don't want them. I don't want anything to do. They don't have no place in anything I'm involved with. Even though I consider myself a conservative or on the right or whatever you want to call it, right? But the left seems to embrace these assholes who use violence, who use fascist tactics. They like to call people fascists. And yet, they use fascist tactics. I don't know. Anyway, what say you? Hey, you know what? I think we need a little music for the rest of the show today. Here we go. Oh, did I click the right one? Hello? Clicky. Ah. Yeah, we're going to go with a little salsa today. I don't know if you can hear it. You can probably hear it. Hey, by the way, a bunch of people showed up while I was on my little rant there. Good morning, Galactic North. Good morning, Advocatus Diaboli. Ebony Williams, what's going on? Maybe that's about it. There's a bunch of people there's a bunch of people here. I just haven't seen everybody in the chat. So there you go. Kessler, how you doing? I said hi to you earlier. Okay, good. I think I caught up. I think I'm caught up. Who knows? But anyway, if you haven't hit the like button yet, just as a reminder, Metal Mondays. We might do a metal day. I might do metal. Yeah, I might do a rock/metal day. We'll get on that. Hello, Towels. That's a new name. Hey, by the way, if you are new here, make sure you hit the subscribe button too, and ring the bell to make sure that you get notifications. All right. Shall we move on? So there's other things going on this weekend, and this is also kind of it's social media related. And I thought, you got to be kidding me. So the State of the Union speech, when Nancy Pelosi decided at the end of the speech, she was going to rip it up, right? Hey, Reason Vision, how you doing? Well, apparently Nancy Pelosi didn't like the fact that President Trump tweeted a particular video that that she didn't like. She didn't like the fact that the president had this little video of her ripping up the speech. And the thing that happened is, first of all, she got really mad and decided to ask social media platforms to take a particular video down. Now, so let's just check out the video, and it's 4.5 minutes long, but I'll give you the first couple minutes, and I think you'll get the gist of it. Hello, Shia Grath, how you doing? I'm kind of tired in the middle of the day. LOL. Also, the Democrats are a disgrace. Yes, they are. Here's that video. Powerful stories. Hang on. I'm gonna pause this. Powerful American stories ripped to shreds by Nancy Pelosi. Okay, and here's just started at the beginning here.
Charles is one of the last surviving Tuskegee Airmen, the first black fighter pilots, and he also happens to be Ian's great-grandfather.
And yes, this is one of the stories she tore up when she did that. Oh, and here's another one coming up. Well, I'm pretty sure there's another one here. And she tore up another story.
Tonight we have a very special surprise.
A military family reunion.
I am thrilled to inform you that your husband is back from deployment. He is here with us tonight.
Oh, anyway. Okay, see, I'm escaped because it always locks up when I do this. You get the gist, right? So...
And we couldn't keep him waiting any longer.
There's the story right there. Yeah, she kind of ripped that one up too. So... you get the gist. He went through there's like 9 different stories that the president said during his State of the Union address, and at the end, Nancy Pelosi ripped it up. Now, she said she ripped it up because it was full of lies and all this other shit, right? But on Twitter and on Facebook, Nancy Pelosi demanded that they take down these videos clearly edited with an intention to mislead. Okay, and no fewer than I found 3 other Congress people who did the same thing. Congressman David Cicilline. Hey, Twitter, this video is clearly edited in a way that is intended to mislead viewers. You should take it down. Representative Veronica Escobar. This video is clearly another deceptive effort by Donald Trump to mislead and manipulate the American people. Hey, Jack! She went straight to Jack. Show your commitment to cut down on the misinformation corroding our nation and take down this fake video. Fake video. Representative Ro Khanna. Twitter must take this misleading video about Speaker Pelosi down now. Social media platforms are a place where people come for news and information. They need to have standards. Falsity has never been a part of our First Amendment tradition. First of all, Representative Khanna et al., you are trying to force a company to do the censorship that you would never be allowed to do. That's dirty as hell. Also, by putting your name as a member of Congress, trying to force them to take other people's words down. And also, here's the thing. Exactly what's misleading about this? It is a story emphasizing what the speaker did when she ripped up the speech in front of the audience, in front of those people who were there as part of the speech. Can you imagine? Can you imagine what might have went through their minds as they saw that? Thank you, C. Thomas, for the super chat. Funny how Pelosi and her kind call Trump classless, childish, petty, but yet they act just that way with a fistful of salt. Also, immediately after the State of the Union, every anti-Trump media outlet raced to fact check his speech. Disgusting. Or raced to fact check his speech. Fact check, yeah. Fact checks are hilarious nowadays. Fact checks are like, oh, he said 7 million jobs. It was only 6.7 million jobs. That's false. That's one of those Washington Post lies. So he might have rounded up a little bit. That's a lie. I'm sorry. I'll take 6.7 million jobs in 3 years. I think that's pretty damn good. I hate to break it to you. That's damn good. But whatever. Thank you, C. Thomas, for the super chat. I greatly appreciate that. If you all want to participate in the super chat program, the link's in the description and also somewhere in the chat there. Good morning, Six. Good morning, Becca Farley. Good morning. Someone else showed up. Gazira Lane. I'm going to say that as one word. Gazira Lane. All right. But this is, I cannot believe that 3 people in Congress are trying. Okay, someone said something about the platform versus publisher. She called it. Here's the thing too. If Twitter's new rules that they're coming out with, where they're saying that they will, they're going to either label or take down deceptive graphics or video. Twitter's response. Now, Facebook said, "Get fucked, just not breaking our rules." You know, because they went to Facebook with this too, and Facebook just said, "This does not in any way, shape, or form break our rules on Facebook, nor should it." Twitter, however, said, "Well, you know, we have some new rules going into place in March." Really? You know what? Here's what I think should happen. When these new rules go in place on Twitter, where they say that they're now going to either label or remove so-called deceptive, graphics or video or whatever like that. I think it's now time that they have lost their, is it Section 120, whatever the protection is for publishers versus platforms, how the platforms supposedly are not responsible for what the people on their platforms submit and put online. Well, I think now that absolutely qualifies them as a publisher. They're taking an editorial function. Okay, they're taking an editorial function, meaning they're going to censor and they're going to label and they're going to determine what can and cannot be put on their platform based on its content, which is an editorial function. Okay, and they're making themselves a publisher now. They're going to edit what people put on their platform. They are a publisher now. So that, I believe, leaves them open to lawsuits. Not necessarily lawsuits for taking down people's stuff and editing people's stuff. However, let's take, for example, let's go back. Let's take the Covington kids. That'd be a good one. Now, those of you on Twitter, do you remember how many just totally derogatory and inflammatory and actually threatening information came on Twitter during that whole Covington kids fiasco? Remember that? I think L. Lynn Wood, who is the attorney for some of the Covington kids, if they decide they're a publisher now, which they've been taking their editing, they've been using an editing function for a long time on Twitter. I think they are certainly open to lawsuits on any kind of situation like that. I think L. Lynn Woods should also go after Twitter for allowing things to be published on their platform that they did not edit. Because now they think they can edit and take down whatever they want, right? They can decide what's true, what's good, what's holy, what's not holy. Hey, great. Thank you. Section 230, Communication Decency Act. Thank you, Duck Dog, for reminding me. I couldn't remember which section it was. hey, guess what? Now you're a publisher, guys. You are you are editorial taking editorial control over what was once an open platform. Now, I've got a feeling you're going to be liable for what goes on your platform. Good luck with that. Anyway, I can't believe that these members of Congress, did this. I mean, the one, especially Ro Khanna, the falsity has never been part of our First Amendment tradition. Now, this one in particular got in my craw, because if you are familiar with, if you ever look at old campaign ads from the early in our nation's history, and how dirty they were. I mean, just completely. They were completely dirty and said things about you, like comparing each other to farm animals and just nasty stuff that clearly wasn't necessarily true, but it was look, for example, so they're saying that video is clearly edited. Hey, here's an edited video. Check this out.
Lie, unfair, lie.
Gee, is this I don't think this video must be deceptive too. They should take this down immediately. I don't think there's a flaming gingerbread man that's really dancing all over President Trump here. Now, what it does kind of prove is that
unfair, lie.
Mike Bloomberg can kind of meme, or at least his team can. I mean, whether you like this or not, it is proves that Mike Bloomberg can meme, which is most of the left can't. So, anyway, you will be demanding Twitter make Mike 2020 take this down too. Then, yeah, there's one lawyer. His what's his name? He goes by Pope Hat, who is just ripped Ro Khanna for just even mentioning anything about the First Amendment the way he did. So anyway, all right, let's check some headlines real quick, because I've talked too much about this. Hello, Ryan himself. Good morning. I don't know. It could be legit though. Oh. Right. Exactly. Yeah, that gingerbread man looked real, didn't it? I mean, I'm sure it is. So let's see. Civil War 2.0. Florida man. Hey, we got a Florida man story, but it's more of a... Well, here we go. Florida man arrested after allegedly driving van into the GOP tent. They caught him. I was wondering if they were going to catch this guy. A man was arrested after he allegedly drove his van through a GOP voter registration tent in Jacksonville, Florida on Saturday. The Jacksonville Sheriff's Office took 27-year-old Gregory William Lowell Tim, that's way too many names, dude, into custody after he reportedly plowed his vehicle into a tent belonging to the Republican Party of Duval County, according to First Coast News. Now, it's interesting, when I first saw this, the photos of the scene, it concerned me, because it didn't necessarily look real. But anyway, apparently they've arrested somebody, so this did happen. I'm glad this is not some fake setup bullshit. Anyway, the report continued. Witnesses told JSO that a man in his 20s driving an older brown Chevy van pulled up to the tent before driving through, running over their tables and chairs. Volunteers for the Republican Party were registering people to vote. No volunteers were hurt, according to JSO. So witnesses said the driver of the van stopped the vehicle, got out of the van, and took a video while making obscene gestures before he left. I thought he was going to slow down, but he didn't. He gunned his engine and headed straight, said one of the volunteers, who also noted that she was almost hit by the van. Detectives were called to the scene, but it remains unclear whether or not the alleged crime... Okay, and this is Breitbart saying this, but anyway, I can't even read this. I can't get through it. It remains unclear whether or not the alleged crime was politically motivated. Okay. Maybe the old ladies were just flipping him off and he got pissed off and got a little road rage. I don't know. We're obviously going to follow that up, and we take that serious, said the JSO lieutenant Larry Gale, adding, anybody who interrupts a political process in this country needs to be taken very seriously. And then Saturday, President Trump tweeted a warning to anyone plotting to an attack against voters. This pissed the liberals off big time. Law enforcement has been notified. Be careful, tough guys, who you play with. So anyway, prior to the event, Tim was reportedly being trained as a sound engineer for an international venue management and services company called ASM Global. The suspect had recently joined the Jacksonville branch of the International Alliance of Theatrical Stage Employees Union, according to the group's president, Susan Phillips. We are just horrified, she commented, adding that Tim was immediately suspended from the union and would not be given a membership in the future. This guy's ruined his own life, but, So anyway, here's pictures from the scene. I'll click this. You can kind of see. This is why I was like, okay, did this happen or not? But pictures from the scene. We'll go click there. Let's go full. So this is where the tent was knocked over. Where he'd driven through this. It just looks so neat, but it just depends on how it was set up, And then there's where the police are, and then they also had a picture of the van as it was leaving. So at least somebody got a picture, and that's pretty much how they found the guy. Let's see. Hey, it's the James Field to the left. No, I wonder if he'll get 419 years or if he gets a pass because he's a lefty. Well, you know what? I hope they go for attempted murder. Clearly he almost hit one of the ladies. So, FTG. FTG to that guy, right? All right. What else is going on? Susan Collins is getting death threats from deranged leftists over impeachment vote. That's. I'm just going to go through some of the headlines, and I'll click an article here and there. But apparently, she's getting death threats. And then, there was a guy that. This one I got to show you. I am here to assassinate President Donald Trump, a man with a knife arrested outside the White House. D.C. police arrested a man carrying a knife outside the White House Saturday after he allegedly expressed a desire to kill President Donald Trump. Roger Hedpath, 25, allegedly told U.S. Secret Service officer on 15th and Pennsylvania Avenue Northwest that he wanted to assassinate the president and had a knife with him, according to the Associated Press. The Washington Post reports that he said specifically, "I am here to assassinate President Donald Trump." The police report noted that the man may have mental issues. He was arrested with a 3.5-inch blade by Metropolitan PD. There have been several instances of threats and other strange things happening near the White House in Washington. Oh man, not a smart move. I'm curious if it was just somebody, a secret service agent who just hangs out around that area and they listen to people talking and stuff. I don't know. Why don't we know his name? Which one? Oh, the guy. Which guy? Chi-Town J. Anyway, yeah, this is Roger Hedpath. This guy who said he was there to kill the president. What else? Oh God. So the House managers who were part of the impeachment debacle, they claim that President Trump was not acquitted because Senate impeachment trial was unfair. Maybe we should just watch the video. Anyway, the 7 House managers claimed during a sit-down interview Friday with CNN's Anderson Cooper that President Donald Trump had not been acquitted following the Senate impeachment trial because it was not a fair trial. This is when I need that wow guy, right? Trump was acquitted on both articles of impeachment Wednesday after over 4 months of debate. The House managers sat down in an exclusive interview with Anderson Cooper 360 Friday to discuss the trial and what comes next, and all appeared to be in agreement that despite the Senate's vote, the president is still not exonerated. Well, he's acquitted forever, ladies and gentlemen. I hate to break it to you. He has been acquitted. Guess what? I don't know, maybe this is a good comparison or not, but O.J. Simpson's still acquitted of that murder. Okay, and I'm not even saying Trump did. That's a bad comparison because this was complete and utter bullshit. Anyway, Trump is acquitted. I think he's not been exonerated. California Representative Zoe Lofgren began. Colorado Representative Jason Crow quickly chimed in, adding that it's hard to have an acquittal without a fair trial. Well, that's really, really interesting, sir. It's really hard to have a fair impeachment without fair inquiries and without proper procedure. So, and there were witnesses and there were documents. They just were in your proceedings, which you failed at. Okay. The trial in the House, the investigation in the House, where the way that's done, you gave the president no opportunity to have witnesses and testimony and whatnot, or the Republican managers or the Republican side to have their witnesses there. You decided that it was just going to be a completely and utterly political, partisan event. And so you reap what you sow. That's what I say. Let's see. How long is this? I don't know if this video might be too long. It's 3 minutes. We can watch it.
Not been exonerated.
What do you mean by that?
Well, it's hard to have an acquittal without a fair trial. And this was
Here,
the
let's start
first
this
impeachment.
over.
I think he's not been exonerated.
What do you mean by that?
Well, it's hard to have an acquittal without a fair trial. And this was the first impeachment trial in American history where we didn't have witnesses and documents. And I think the American people...
Au contraire. There were 18 witnesses, 17 of which were heard from publicly. And there are thousands and thousands of documents. Sorry, there were.
Realize that? Because, as we sit here right now, there are thousands of Americans walking into courthouses across the country and they're taking their oath. And they're going to be sitting as jurors in trials, and they're going to hear from witnesses and documents. And
but you know what else they'll be able to do? They will have a chance to have their own witnesses. And they will have a chance to cross-examine all of those witnesses and bring in other documentation, which was not allowed in the impeachment process. Now, the impeachment process isn't like a court process, although the impeachment is kind of like an indictment, but in that particular process, you're supposed to have your ducks in a row beforehand and have all your evidence. So, you know what? Whiny bitches just need to shut the fuck up. I'm sorry. They didn't follow their own procedure. They reaped what they sowed.
Why Washington and Donald Trump should be any different. And of course, the answer
did we go silent?
It shouldn't. And they understand that.
So when the president says this is a victory, that he's been exonerated, you're saying he hasn't been.
He's not been exonerated. And this is the first impeachment in American history.
There's only been 3. He's talking like there's been 57 different impeachments, and this is the first one in American history. They didn't do it the way we wanted to, because we... Fuck off, God.
Senator from his own party voted to convict the president.
Oh, yeah. Senator Mitt Romney, one half of the... He voted for one of the articles. He couldn't even bring himself to vote for the other bullshit article, which they knew. They should have known that one wasn't happening. Number 2, the second one, I'm sorry, you didn't go through any of the procedures that would allow you to bring that stupid obstruction of Congress. Holy shit. Not even obstruction of justice. Obstruction of Congress. Obstruction of the part of Congress that's trying to impeach you. There's no obstruction. Did you go through the courts and try to settle this? Did you try to resolve it in the courts like a normal, 1/3 of a branch of government should? Shouldn't they? No, you didn't. Shut the fuck up.
We also knew going in that given the nature of the Republican Party, which is...
Oh, we already knew going in, given the nature of the the Democratic Party that we were going to find a way to impeach him no matter what, because we've been saying it since the day he got elected. Oh, I'm sorry. Is that what you were going to say, Jerry?
Become a complete follow the leader no matter what.
Complete impeach the president however we can, because Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
That they were never going to vote, no matter what the evidence. They were never going to vote against the president. No matter.
We were gonna vote to impeach the president, no matter what we couldn't find, no matter what we don't have, no matter how many people couldn't say positively that there was direct orders to do what we say the president did. In fact, none of them did. We had no evidence that anyone ever said that it was an order.
No matter what the evidence, and we saw it.
The evidence you didn't wait for, that you wanted later, that you wanted the Senate, you wanted the jury to subpoena people.
We believe that going in.
Oh, we absolutely believed it going in, and there were discussions that maybe we shouldn't do it because, given the nature of the Republican Party, they were never going to convict no matter what. But
well, look, you needed to get 20 Republicans on your side, and you failed. Had you maybe... Now, let's say there were some evidence. Let's say John Bolton did give some earth-shattering testimony. But you didn't go through the procedure to get these other witnesses that you thought were essential. You didn't go to the courts and decide, you know what? Hey, look, this is so important that we need to get it right before we take this to the Senate. Oh no, we need to do it before Christmas, and we needed to do it before the election because he might get elected. He might actually get elected. That's kind of for the American people to decide, isn't it? I mean, really? You go in with a half-assed impeachment? Are you going to try it? I'm just curious if they're going to try it again. I think they're going to. If they do, I think they're toast. I just think they do. I think they're toast if they do it again. I think they're. I don't know. I don't have a whole. I don't have like the feeling that Trump's going to be beat, but they're gonna pull as many shenanigans as they can. But anyway,
we had to do it because we had to set markers. You had to say,
"Oh, really? You had to do it to set markers." Oh, so you didn't have to do it because you thought that he did something illegal that is an actual impeachable offense. We had to set markers. I get it. We had to do something political to set a marker? Really?
Say that you can't normalize this conduct. This kind of thing this president has done can't be done by him or by future presidents. You had to vindicate the Constitution. So we did that, and the fact that for the first time in American history, you had senators voting to convict the president of their own party.
Wait, senators? Plural? Senator 1, who voted for one of the two articles of impeachment. Oh, by the way, here's a term that you need to learn that I will probably use occasionally. It's a term that I got from my brother-in-law, and it's very appropriate in this situation. And here, the term is that would be Jerry Nadler talking out of his ass. Okay, let's watch the rest of this shit.
This is very, very important.
I actually thought that it was possible to convict because our evidence
No, you
was
didn't.
so
You are lying out your teeth. Or your ass, or whatever.
strong, and the activity he engaged in was so wrong. So
You thought there would be more Republicans willing to...
well, I had hopes, And I think the interesting thing is
She's
so
got
many of the senators said they believed what he did was wrong. We made our case. They just didn't want to vote to remove him. So some of them hope that he's chastised and will improve his behavior. I hope so, but doesn't look good.
Did this backfire, though? I mean, the Gallup poll taken before the final vote showed a 49% approval rating among independents. He was up 5 points.
Oh my gosh, Anderson asked a real question. Did this backfire? Okay, I think it kind of did.
Did the impeachment backfire on Democrats?
Well, back to the acquittal.
We're not going to. We don't want to answer that question. Hell no. Back to the acquittal
of this. I would consider that fake news because we did not have a fair trial. And I
wait a minute. Did they do an acquittal or not? Did they have? Oh, hi, Shiograph. You've been here and I forgot to say hi. Did they have an acquittal or not? Did they get 20 Republicans to vote in the way they wanted to vote? No. Thus, no matter what kind of a trial it was, it could have been a mistrial. You know what? When there's when a judge in a criminal case calls a mistrial or throws a case out without witnesses because it's a bullshit case, is it still an acquittal? I think it is. I absolutely think it is. So it doesn't matter how they did it. I don't care. It's an acquittal. I've said it 3 times now. You know what? I just want to make sure I don't want to leave anybody out. Straight Sith Mail, I see you there. Good morning. It's an acquittal.
I think back to Robert Mueller's words when he said if he could exonerate the president,
what does this have?
He would.
The fuck does this have to do with it? First of all, Robert Mueller, she's going back to Robert Mueller. If he could exonerate the president, he would. Guess what? It's not the job of a prosecutor to exonerate anybody. You are innocent until proven guilty. You're exonerated until they prove you guilty of a crime. You don't. The prosecutor, Robert Mueller, wasn't trying to exonerate President Trump. So what he wrote there is a complete and utter pile of bullshit. And you're repeating that bullshit because that's not what prosecutors do. They don't exonerate. They either charge or they don't charge. Jesus Christ.
But he could not exonerate the president.
Not his job.
The evidence, again, was overwhelming against him.
But he didn't do it. If the evidence was overwhelming against him, you would have been charged, Johnny.
We proved our case that the evidence was clear and convincing and overwhelming.
Well, it wasn't convincing to everybody. Clearly not.
The president is not exonerated today. And, you know,
he's acquitted forever. For this one, now y'all gonna try it again. We know. Everyone knows you're gonna try it again. Especially if he gets elected. I bet you'll try it again. I'm pretty confident that they're gonna try it again sometime down the line. Maybe just before the election, they'll do something like that. Oh my gosh, could you imagine? Can you imagine?
No, in terms of the polls, we were there to present the best case to the senators and to the American people.
And the American people said, nah.
I believe we did that. The fact that, again, Senator Romney was not standing with the Democrats or standing against the president. He was
Mitt Romney. Speaking of which, Mitt Romney might have some issues of his own, but he certainly is no friend of the president's. Now, do I think Romney voted with his own biases, whatever. And I'm not going to knock him for doing what he did. It was a pretty safe thing for him to do because he knows that the president's not going to be removed on his vote, especially at the time he decided that he was going to use it that way. I don't know if that's going to work out for him or not. But he's not a friend of the president. But he has some issues too, because he also has a kid doing some shit in Ukraine. Kind of weird situation, but I don't know if it's as bad. It's certainly not as bad as Joe Biden and Hunter Biden, whatever. There's a whole boy. Wait till you hear some of the stuff that's going to come out about that. And I'm not going to do anything here, but that's my preview of that.
Standing up for what he believed was right, upholding the rule of law and protecting and defending the Constitution.
Just one. Mitt Romney. Okay, good for him.
I am profoundly religious. My faith is at the heart of who I am.
Okay, that's the end of that. So, anyway, so that's that. And, holy hell. The idea that he's not acquitted, I'm sorry, that's how it works. He's acquitted. I don't care. There's no saying he's not acquitted. That's just dumb. Let's see. Romney does have some links to Burisma, though. Did you know that? Did you know Romney had links to Burisma too? It wasn't 2012 presidential loser Romney's fate that caused him to vote to impeach Trump, whom he once begged to rescue him from political oblivion. While Romney, who undoubtedly entertained visions of succeeding president. Oh, wait a minute. There we go. Succeeding a President Trump after his vote helped to remove him from office, says it was his faith that caused him to believe Trump really did abuse his power to pressure the Ukrainians to dig up dirt on the Bidens. More likely, it was because Romney wanted to put an end to an administration that might expose a link to the Bidens and Burisma. Romney will go down in history as the only senator to vote to impeach a member of his own party, but the question remains why he has retained such an animus against the man who forgave Romney his 2016 rant warning, as Adam Schiff, Nancy Pelosi, and the seditious bunch later would, that Donald Trump was an unhinged danger. Trump supported Romney's Utah Senate run. A2 Mitt? Why, as CNN has put it, has Romney been a lone Republican voice expressing concern about President Donald Trump's July phone call with Vladimir Zelensky, in which Trump asked Ukraine's president to investigate former Vice President Joe Biden and his family? Little notice has been paid to the fact that Joseph Coffer Black, a former CIA operative, served as Romney's special advisor in his 2012 campaign for president. As Breitbart News reported at the time, in October 2011, Romney announced that Black, who had served in the CIA since 1974, has been selected as special advisor. I am deeply honored to have the counsel of this extraordinary group of diplomats, experts, and statesmen, Romney said at the time. Their remarkable experience, wisdom, and depth of knowledge will be critical to ensuring that the 21st century is another American century. Black trained for covert operations and eventually became the director of National Counterterrorism Center from 1999 until 2002. After the September 11, 2001 terrorist attack perpetrated by Al-Qaeda, Black was appointed ambassador at large and coordinator for counterterrorism in December 2002 by President George W. Bush. John Brennan succeeded Black in his job as national director of the Counterterrorism Center. Now, Coffer Black would come to know Hunter Biden as well. Black would wind up serving on the board of the Ukrainian gas company Burisma at the same time that Hunter, who had no special knowledge of Ukraine or the energy business, was being paid ungodly sums to curry influence with the Obama-Biden administration. Was Black also hired because he was an advisor to a former governor and future senator with good connections in the Washington swamp? As the Federalist reported last September, as Democrats and the media remain fanatically obsessed with assembling some form of quid pro quo from the infamous Trump-Zelensky phone call, new details have emerged regarding Burisma, the company for which Hunter Biden worked and the company that Ukraine's top prosecutor has been investigating before Vice President Joe Biden had the prosecutor fired via a months-long pressure campaign. According to Web Archives, top Mitt Romney advisor Joseph Coffer Black, who publicly goes by Coffer Black, joined Burisma board of directors, while Hunter Biden was also serving on the board. According to the New Yorker, Hunter joined Burisma's board in April 2014 and remained on it until he declined to renew his position this past May. Meanwhile, according to Burisma's website, Black was appointed in February of 2017 and continues to serve on its board. The timelines would indicate that Black and Biden worked together at Burisma, and indeed, web archives from the late 2017 show Black and Biden listed simultaneously on the board. Continuing, there's no doubt that Burisma was stockpiling people on its board who could provide it with cover from prying investigations, like the son of a vice president and a special advisor to a GOP presidential candidate. The nature of Hunter's job is known. His father, Vice President Joe Biden, would get a Ukrainian prosecutor fired, taking heat off of Burisma to protect his son. What Black's role was, or why he was on the board other than providing potential access, is unclear, but certainly he could tell us something about the Burisma-Hunter connection. True, Romney did vote to call witnesses, but there was no guarantee Hunter Biden would make the short list. Black's name wasn't even mentioned. Romney was willing to risk Hunter Biden being called if other witnesses like John Bolton could potentially help get Trump out of office. Why was Black on the Burisma board at the same time as Hunter Biden? Mere coincidence? What did he know and when did he know it? What did Romney know when did he know it? Why was a former advisor to the only Republican senator to vote to impeach the president, who legally asked the Ukrainians, in accordance with treaty and U.S. law, if they knew anything about Ukrainian corruption, possible interference in U.S. elections, on the Burisma board? Romney's former advisor could tell us much. So he's got his own little tie, but it's just a coincidence, just a quinky dink, right? All right, I'm not getting anywhere near headlines. Let me see. I'm gonna fly through some headlines. Here's the headlines of today, and then we're gonna do some Twitter trends. Let's see. Report missing $1.8 billion in aid linked to corrupt oligarch who bankrolled Ukraine revolution. Apparently, there's a situation where they're finding a money trail, also known as money laundering, and apparently Rudy Giuliani in his investigations has found some of that money trail and where some of that money went. Stay tuned. Let's see. Sarah Carter, if Durham probe fails, nothing will stop attempted coups in the future. That's probably true. The federal prosecutors are seeking to delay General Flynn's sentencing date again. I just have this feeling now. I think the prosecutors said they were going to. They changed their mind once or twice. Now saying, "See you later, C. Thomas," saying that they were going to seek to have him go into prison, and now they're trying to go back to their first plea deal, and so now they keep getting it delayed. I don't know. Valerie Plame, who's running for Congress, accepts more campaign donations from a prominent Holocaust denier. What the hell's that? I didn't. Interesting. Remember Valerie Plame? Remember her? She faced criticism after sharing multiple anti-Semitic articles from a white supremacist media outlet, and has accepted multiple campaign contributions from a prominent Holocaust denier. Financial disclosure show. Plame accepted 3 contributions from Holocaust denier Pete McCloskey, a former California congressman who referenced the so-called Holocaust, he said, during a May 2000 speech. So that's not good. Do y'all remember Valerie Plame? This is her. She's the FBI agent or CIA agent that supposedly got outed by Scooter Libby, and then we found out it wasn't Scooter Libby who got her, who accidentally got her name put out there. Anyway, she's apparently taken money from a Holocaust denier. Good for her in her run for Congress. Funding secured for 1,000 miles of border wall, White House officials say. Okay. House Dems now investigating. Now the House Democrats are investigating Trump's administration's decision to end global entry in New York. We talked about that the other day. Remember? New York has an issue with their driver's license where they're just giving driver's license to anyone who wants them, including illegal immigrants. And thus, the State Department is deciding to end their global entry program, which expedites entry into the U.S. based on I don't remember what it's called, Smart ID or whatever. They can't trust them in New York because they're giving driver's license to illegal immigrants. So you can't, you're not even sure who all these people are. There you go. All right. DNC Chair Tom Perez says Democrats should dump caucuses, change order of states after Iowa disaster. Yes, the debacle in Iowa. Hey, by the way, isn't the New Hampshire primary today? Is that today or tomorrow? It's tomorrow. Tomorrow's the New Hampshire primary. And apparently Pete Buttigieg is running in first after his stunning win in Iowa. All right. I got to get out of the headlines because I got to hit the Twitter trends for the day because I just haven't gotten to them yet, and I got to get out of here soon. So, hey, good morning, Peter Allman. How you doing? Good to see you. All right. Let's see what's trending on Twitter real quick. Let's check the Explore tab first to find out what's in the header. Today in the header, okay, it's a Cadillac ad. I don't necessarily need a Cadillac ad. Well, they have a nice... no, I'm not... okay, maybe I'm going to turn this up just to see what the hell this means, though. What is this? All right, here we go. Let's click this. Oh, I see. They're doing... Okay, these are just all Cadillac ads. You know what? We're going to skip the Cadillac ads because the header just is an ad today. I don't need that. All right, moving on. Let's go into... oh, no. Patrice, are you here? I know you're here somewhere. Second Look at 7 is trending #1. It's a Tide ad. No, it's not. It's not a Tide ad. It's a Cadillac ad. Trending #1. Second Look at 7. Patrice, this is some K-pop shit. Okay, watch. I'm going to click it. And wait a minute, what? And that's how you don't kiss random statue with black wings in a museum. Okay, it's K-pop. It's all weird to me. I'm skipping it. Monday motivation is #2 though, and we definitely have to have some Monday motivation. Now the first one here is how to go for a 26-minute quarter-mile stroll, belly sloshing stroll like a boss. Is this a cat? It looks like a raccoon, but apparently it's a cat on a treadmill. Okay, and then this is trying to feel Monday motivation, sitting in the bathtub. And here's the Monday motivation. Bad day, friend. Wait till the end. Oh, gosh, look at the face of that dog. Okay. Oh, it's BTS's new album coming out soon? Well, there you go. Thank you, Patrice, for my resident K-pop aficionado has helped me again. Can we get one good motivation? Oh, boy. China is literally chaining families inside their homes and barring up their windows so they are unable to leave for coronavirus. Could this happen here? Yeah, you know, it's growing way faster than I am comfortable with. Oh, boy. All right, there we go. Just look at that puppy and that kitty. That's good enough motivation. Let's move on. Trending #3, Harry on hits. Harry Styles is doing some special, unique concert. If you don't know who Harry Styles is, okay, I'm fine with that. #4, Monday morning, we'll skip. Our musician Rose Day is also K-pop, skip. Jimin's is #6, K-pop, skip. Equifax is trending. Now, what did Equifax do? Let's find out what's going on with Equifax. Attorney General Barr announces the indictment of 4 members of the Chinese People Liberation Army for breaking into the computer systems of the credit reporting agency Equifax. The hackers obtained the names, birth dates, social security numbers of nearly 150 million Americans. All right, so that's the announcement from the Justice Department. Anyone talking? Okay, just this is mostly news about it. Not a lot of people. Let's see. Question. I don't dispute that it does, but how does Equifax have economic value, but stolen Democratic fundraising information does not? I don't know what you're talking about there, Missy. Barr says we normally don't bring charges against military officials, except we keep doing it. We collect information for legit national security purposes. One economic giant's private citizen, another economic giant's national interest. If she's talking about NSA data, I who knows. Anyway, that's not good, but at least they caught them. But that's a nasty business, man. The hacking shit. Keeney, is this somebody named Keeney died, or is this a game? Oh, this is a character. Today, the world lost a wonderful. It's the artist who did. It's an artist. Today, the world lost a wonderful artist, a brave soul who fought and fought while gifting us with inspiration and beauty. This feels so unreal. I can't believe she's gone just like that. You'll be missed, Keeney. Thank you for making stars shine for us. So she's an artist who does stuff like this. We'll do just a couple of the things that she does. And apparently she has passed away. So people will be mourning this artist today. Let's see. Just me, or should Equifax have been slammed much harder for that breach? I would say that yes. And hopefully they will. Luke Fickell to turn down the Michigan State job. Former Ohio State football player and head assistant coach. Luke Fickell has turned down the Michigan State job. Okay, if you're into college football. NFL trending Chuck Clark. Excellent move by Eric DaCosta by signing Chuck Clark to a 3-year extension. It's another one, EDC. I don't know what. I don't know that. Who is Clark? Who is Chuck Clark? Oh, Ravens safety Chuck Clark. Is going to be signing a 3-year contract extension. Okay, so they're keeping a defensive player here. Tressel is trending. What is Tressel? Just retain Tressel. Go 4-8. Sign a recruiting class in the 60s. Hire your 5th option next year, and let's keep it moving. Thanks for not being able to sell a guy on doubled salary in a P5. I have no idea what this means. Oh, the Michigan State job. Yeah, people at Michigan State are not happy right now. I'll just leave it at that. Good Monday. We'll skip WrestleMania 37. Oh my gosh, 30. This is the 37th WrestleMania. Are you kidding me? WrestleMania 37 is going to Hollywood. Next year's showcase of the Immortals is set to take place at the SoFi Stadium. And what's her name? Mackenzie Mitchell is here with the everything you need to know. So Los Angeles is going to host WrestleMania 7 at SoFi Stadium. Is that even open yet? I don't even know if they've opened that stadium yet. I thought they were still building it. Maybe it is there. Okay, anyway. So if you're into WrestleMania, it's going to be in LA next year. Moving on. Luke Perry. Oh, a lot of people. Oh, Tony Jefferson. Who's Tony Jefferson? Tony Jefferson. Let's see. Whoa, what? While Clark played extremely well last season or two, this move could signal the end of Tony Jefferson in Baltimore. Oh, he's another safety who may... If Tony Jefferson shakes free... Okay, so they might be getting rid of Tony Jefferson in Baltimore. I don't know who. I'm not familiar. You went to WrestleMania 1? No way. And Chi-Town J was at WrestleMania 2? Where was WrestleMania 1? Was that in Chicago? I can't even remember where that was. Was that at Atlanta? I can't remember. Anyway, Luke Perry's trending. The reason Luke Perry's trending is last night was the Oscars, and I didn't pay attention to it one lick because I don't really care. Although there's been a couple things trending that are Oscar related, and this is one of them. So they do their in memoriam every year, and they forgot whether it's intentional or not, they left out Luke Perry. Now Luke Perry is actually in one of the movies that was nominated for Best Picture this year, and they forgot to put him in the memoriam when he passed away this year. They also forgot Sid Haig, who's a kind of known for being horror films, and Cameron Bryce. Now, I never heard of it, Cameron Boyce. He died tragically in July at the age of 20. Here's a list of some people they did not get. I don't know, Rob Liebman, Michael J. Pollard, Robert Walker, Tim Conway. Now, Tim Conway, did he do a lot of movies? I don't know, but he's still a notable actor, comedian. Carol Spinney, Renee Auberjonas, Jan-Michael Vincent. I mean, how do they leave out Jan-Michael Vincent? Cameron Boyce, Luke Perry, Denise Nickerson are people that they forgot. Yes, at this time last year, and they usually go for the Oscar to Oscars. They didn't. They missed out these people who've died since last year's Oscars. So yeah, a lot of people upset about that. A lot of Luke Perry fans out there. Version 2, that's a K-pop thing. Tracy Rocker is trending in football. Let's see. Tracy Rocker has coached 5 NFL first rounders at 4 different schools. Is a fantastic hire by Will Muschamp. South Carolina's defensive line has the talent and now has a very experienced coach to lead the group. So apparently Tracy Rocker's been hired by the University of South Carolina. If you're into football. Monday Thoughts and I Stand With Gail. Now, there's 2 things on here. The I Stand With Gail. Holy Hannah. This thing about Gayle King doing the interview with Lisa Leslie, and kind of not badgering her, but just asking her questions about Kobe Bryant's issue from back in the day in Colorado. It's going back and forth, man. Some people are so mad at her, and some people are just trying to have her back. But I mean, it's insane. Snoop. So I don't know if you saw the Snoop Dogg video where he went at her pretty hard in his video, calling her something like a dog face bitch or something. But it's going back and forth on Twitter. Oh my God. So this woman, Sophia Nelson, Snoop and President Trump should be friends. They both have the vocabulary of street thugs and pimps who hate women. This is disgusting. Because Snoop calls Gayle King a punk motherfucker for asking a question about Kobe Bryant's sexual assault allegation. Gayle King out of pocket for that shit. And he also called her like a dog, something face bitch or some shit. People are going hard back and forth on this one. So this is someone who's defending Gayle King. A lot of people are dragging Gayle King. And she's back into... she's really upset about it too, apparently. Tariq Nasheed weighs in. White liberals creating the hashtag I Stand With Gayle to try and save their puppet Gayle King, but trying to create a false black man versus black woman narrative. But it was a black woman, Lisa Leslie, and other black women who led the charge against Gayle's disrespect of Kobe. You know what? I can understand if there's people who are fully invested in the idea that Kobe raped a woman, would be very upset about the post-death accolades for him. But you know what? I don't know. This is a subject I'm done with. But listen, oh man, imagine standing defending the same woman who has relations with all of these sexual predators. Matt Lauer accused of sexually harassing an NBC reporter. Charlie Rose has been accused of sexually harassing over 35 women. And pictures of her with Harvey Weinstein. But she wants to ask about Kobe Bryant's issues. So people going back and forth, and their issues with Bill Clinton. They're just dragging up the pictures. So here's the video that Snoop did. If you never heard it, here it is.
Dog. Here's a message for the people that need to know. I'm a nonviolent person. When I said what I said.
Oh, okay. He's actually answering posthumous. Thank you. My brain was not working. So Snoop has put out a second video. Apparently,
Gayle was very disrespectful towards Kobe Bryant and his family. Now, with that being said, what I look like wants some harm to come to a 70-year-old woman. I was raised way better than that. I didn't want no harm to come to her and didn't threaten her. All I did was said, check it out. You out of pocket for what you're doing, and we watching you. Have a little bit more respect for Vanessa, her babies, and Kobe Bryant's legacy. Yeah. But anyway, I'm going to do what I got to keep doing. Y'all keep doing what y'all doing. We're very nonviolent. We just want to say that first and foremost. We speak from the heart. Some of you who have no heart don't understand that. But anyway, carry on and enjoy your day.
All right, so that's Snoop kind of clarifying, doesn't want any harm to come to Gayle King and whatnot. But yeah, she, yeah, good point. You know, she's going to report on Hobie, like you said there, Pete, and nobody is, and not on the other people that she's been around. Now, the only other thing that's not trending anymore, but it is somebody named, what the hell's his name? John Miller. John Miller. He was trending today because he said something stupid during the Oscars, or while he was tweeting around the Oscars. And here's his tweet. A man named Bong Joon-ho wins Oscar for Best Original Screenplay over Once Upon a Time in Hollywood in 1917. Acceptance speech was, "Great honor, thank you." Then he proceeds to give the rest of his speech in Korean. These people are the destruction of America. Now, people are pissed, saying, "Oh, this is some racist shit," and it kind of comes off that way. My reaction, when I heard about this, I'm like, not a good look, dude. You keep that to yourself, because look, if the best picture that they choose, and I don't care what they choose, if the best picture is by someone who's Korean, and they have very limited English and give their speech in Korean, I don't care. The Oscars is not necessarily an American award. It's a Hollywood award. And if Das Boot, for example, if Das Boot would have won back in the day, and the directors and writers of Das Boot came out and did their speech in German because they don't have good English, and it was translated, do you care? I don't care. So I thought, well, wait a minute. So, but then later, because people were starting to get on his case, and he clarifies. He says, these people are obviously not Koreans, but those in Hollywood awarding a foreign film that stokes flames of class warfare over two films I thought were more deserving, simply to show how woke they are. That should be clear from the rest of what I tweeted about tonight's production. Well, it wasn't clear, but I'm glad he clarified. But, oh my goodness, did he get ripped. Now, here's the thing. Just about him being racist, and these people, whatever. People were kind of getting on his case as being a racist. Now, I only want to make one point about this: is I think what he wrote really did not look good, and it, very understandable why people would be like, "What? Why are these people, quote unquote?" Why are the Koreans the destruction of America? Which they're not. I mean, that's probably, I think he meant the liberals in Hollywood. But he gets this now. Does he get a black pass? This is John Miller. John Miller's a black man. I thought we got a pass for that kind of shit, but apparently he doesn't because he writes for The Blaze. So, and that's okay. What he said came off as really. It came off as really eyebrow-raising, just the way it was written. And again, this is Twitter. There's no room for nuance on Twitter. Sometimes it does just not. It just doesn't always. Nuance doesn't always translate. Let's just put it that way. So, all right, let's call it a day, folks, because it's about that time for me to be at another place. So, if you've been here the whole show, thanks for coming. And if you got here late or got here just a few minutes ago, I don't care. I'm glad you came to see me today. I really appreciate you guys. And, I'm here Monday through Friday, 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central, 3 p.m. GMT for those people in other parts of the world. And I'll be here tomorrow because tomorrow's Tuesday, and that's how I roll. So, thanks everybody for coming today. If you haven't done so already, hit that like thumbs up thing down there, the like thing, and share this out if you're watching this after the fact or by replay. Please leave a comment in the comment section so that I know you were here. And finally, you can always support the show through donations and via super chats in the Streamlabs link in the description down below. You can do that any time of day. You can do it while we're live, or you can do it while we're watching a replay, and I will definitely read your super chats on the show so that you will be a permanent fixture on the Morning Night Live. Thanks everybody again for being here. I can't tell you how much I appreciate your support. My name is PDawg Knight, and I'm out of here. Bye-bye. Hey, this is PDawg Knight, and thank you for watching today on the PDawg Knight channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterward so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through the Streamlabs link, which is also in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm PDawg Knight, and I'm out of here.